Hi folks, let's have a chat. First thing I'm going to get out of the way is the death that happened on La Habrea. Now, I know a lot of people were thinking, no, you didn't actually die, that's a scripted death, that shouldn't count. But I think we all know what would happen if I did not accept that as a death.
Look, that's the death animation. That means you died, idiot. That's the animation that plays when you've rezzed. You must have died. And there's the death tutorial. Imagine saying that doesn't count.
So it's for this reason. I kind of just want to appease everyone and just accept that the death happened. However, I will not get rid of the hardcore status. As people mentioned, the death is completely unavoidable. There's actually no way to get past it without dying. So I'm still on the hardcore mode. I still haven't technically died. But Yoshi P essentially just put a sneaky little death in the bank. And come on, are you going to deny Yoshi P free death in the bank? So with that said, we are going to queue our ultimate weapon and we're going to clear it again. Plus, I just wanted an excuse to get more poetics, and this works pretty well. Oh, hold on. We're driving back to town. Alright, so one of the biggest complaints that I've had so far.
Why the fuck did you not choose to play a Lullafell? Even give a shit about this challenge? You're just going to put it
How's the
on
weather up there, you fucking loser?
So let me to fully go over why I chose a Rogadin over a Lullafell. So one of the issues we're going to have with this playthrough is that this isn't blind. I already know most of the attacks in the game. One thing about this game is that a lot of the AoEs are on the ground. So I feel the closer I am to the ground, the easier it is for me to see if I'm outside of an AoE. So as a Rogadin, I have to pay attention to stuff that is happening right in front of me, but I also need to look down to make sure that I'm not in an AoE. So if there's AoEs, but I also have an AoE on myself, I need to look forward to see where everybody else is, but I need to quickly look down in order to make sure I'm not also standing in an AoE. However, the Rogadin does have an advantage in that he can actually see things in the distance a lot better because he is taller. So if there is a donut AoE that goes out and there's only one small safe spot in a corner, I can see it a lot easier if I'm standing up tall. And as a Lullafell, I would essentially just have to jump up and down. And once I was weighing the pros and cons, the final thing that made me decide to pick a Rogadin was what would be easier on the eyes for people to watch. And people are obviously free to disagree. People have disagreed. But personally, I feel the Rogadin being able to see more of what's going on around him and more of the players and not just looking at everybody's ankles the entire time would be a better choice for the viewer than a Lullafell. And essentially it was the viewer experience that made me decide to pick a Rogadin over anything else. So I mean, I guess we can end this once and for all if we really want to. If you think I should remain as a Rogadin, feel free to give this video a like. If you think I should Fantasia into a Lullafell, then give this video a dislike. We will use the like and dislike ratio to see. And then that way, when the next video comes out, I can make an apology video about what I said in the previous video if Lullafell won. I really wish people could see the like-dislike bar though. The joke would work better if people could actually see it. But anyway, feel free to let me know. If you were to ask me personally, I prefer the Rogadin just overall. I think having to move my camera more often and keep focus on more things because I'm not as close to the ground is more fun for me personally, but if people would really, really, really prefer Lullafell, just let me know. Now then, real quick, gotta get this out of the way. There will most likely be spoilers galore on this playthrough. Well, I'm not going to lore dump or go over finer details. I may find it necessary to give a bit of context to what's happening in terms of where we are and what we're doing, for those who don't know or may need a refresher. Also, I do prefer opening each dungeon with a quick overview of the bosses, but if there's something major or spoiler coming up, I'll likely keep quiet about it until I get there. I will recommend that you play or experience this game yourself somehow. Do not attempt to get your lore from this video series. Again, when I was originally making this series, most of the people who are going to watch it have absolutely no idea about or any intention of touching Final Fantasy XIV. And imagine if I just got really bad roulettes and I had to do Sestasha about 100 times. That would be content. So, the other thing people have brought up a few times is, you know, this really isn't a challenge. Like, this thing you're doing, you know, you're only doing it with normal content. How is this a challenge? Like, in any capacity? Fooled you, you are now watching a glorified Let's Play. It technically is a challenge to an extent, but it's not like, you know, I'm not doing top or anything. As I mentioned, I do sort of want to do extremes and savages, but, you know, we're watching the journey of how I became the thing that I am. Oh man, I am so lame. I didn't even get a dot off. What a loser. I suck. Plus, we're also in the early games. Anybody's played the game for long enough, you know the early game is not that difficult. The biggest threat, truly, is other players. And for anybody who may be watching this and may be worried that maybe one day they might run into First Person McPherson and they may fuck up, please do not, under any circumstances, worry about it. I really want you to not worry about it. I feel like I'm letting the whole team down here. Definitely the weakest link right now. Like, here's the thing. Dungeons that go out of control are some of the best content that I could ask for. If this entire playthrough was me and Easy Street, then it wouldn't be as fun. I love it when chaotic moments happen in these type of challenges. So please, I don't want anybody being worried about fucking up. I don't want anybody being sad if you're the reason First Person McPherson dies. If you're the reason that I die, and it wasn't deliberate, that's actually the other worry I have as well. Right at the beginning of this, someone recognized who I was, and decided to send me a message, which is absolutely fine, you're free to do so, but I'm a bit worried that as the name grows a little bit, somebody's gonna see me and be like, LOL, I know I could kill him and trap him in this current content he's doing. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I pushed the wrong button. Sorry, I just went on autopilot, my bad. I'm trying to think of what I'm talking about. So the video quality. So, Vorteil made a boo-boo. I had noticed the video quality was not that great after I was done, and I'm a little pissed that I didn't actually notice until after the fact. But here's the thing, when I'm streaming on Twitch, because Twitch is a garbage website that has not updated itself for anything positive in the past, what, since 2016 was the last time we actually got anything fucking decent on this platform, I tend to stream with a locked 720p. So I actually forgot that I activated the downscale resolution to 720p when I started recording this. So, oops, that was dumb. This video you're watching right now should be at 1080p. Something else I want to bring up is, you know, the fact that I apparently stole Swamp Ledic's intro. Come now. Give me a bit more credit than that. I know I'm a dumbass, but I'm not that fucking stupid. A lot of the intros for this series are going to consist of just small, meme gimmicks, skits, machinima. I like making machinima, so I'm going to make some silly intro videos. And talking and fighting is really difficult on a class that you don't fully understand. I've actually completely forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, we're gonna do silly intros, and perhaps I shouldn't have blown my load on a Swamp Ledic's homage right out of the gate. But I figured people would know that it was homage and not think that I was trying to steal an idea from someone else. Like, as if I could get away with that. Let me steal the intro from one of the biggest names in RuneScape and then try to claim it as my own. Like, that would ever work in a million trillion years. Now, I have had a lot of people that are very, very unhappy with my button layout and my general screen layout. Thank you. I made it myself. I always have the finisher of a melee combo on button number 6. That is just how things have happened. That is just the way things are. I don't even know how it came to be, but my muscle memory has had that locked in for literally years. I'll let you do your full combo. You're doing more damage than I am, I'll let you finish it. So yeah, my button layout is weird. Feel free to make fun of it. A lot of this is dumb muscle memory. Now, again, Dragoon is my least played class, and I'd like to reiterate that just because I think Dragoon is currently my least favorite does not mean that I think it's a bad class. Essentially, if you were to ask me to rank all of my classes and what I feel about them, I would put Dragoon at a 7 out of 10. As I mentioned at the beginning, I mostly leveled up Dragoon via the Beast Tribe quest, so I haven't really fully experienced Dragoon to its fullest. So you never know, perhaps when we get to like the end of the game, I might end up liking Dragoon, and it becomes one of my top played classes. I also I'm not the biggest fan of melee in 14. Again, I don't hate melee, but I play castles, I play ranged, because I have one brain cell. Also, at the time, the main reason I did it is that way back in the day, the super old static I had a too many melees problem. So I basically defaulted to being the caster, and I ended up just becoming the class I like to play the most. So one last thing I want to bring up is that people have told me many times about the fact that walking backwards is a problem, but there's a fix for it. I could turn on legacy controls. And you know what? That's something I didn't even think about. Hold on a second while I very quickly go in and change that up so that... Okay, can we stop talking about this now? It doesn't matter which camera type you have, walking backwards is the only thing you can do. The thing is with legacy controls is that it only works in third person because what it is essentially doing is if you push down, it turns your character to face where your third person camera currently is. I am in first person, I do not have a third person camera, so I have nothing to turn to. So, you know, for example, say my camera was up there. Oh, thanks for the benefit. Say my camera was up there on that thing, and I was facing this way. If I'm using legacy controls and I was to push down, my character camera would essentially just do this. Start walking in this direction. So unfortunately, walking backwards is the only option. So while I appreciate the help, I would also appreciate the help if people had tested out what they were talking about. Furthermore, if you're going to complain about me not playing a Lalafell, could you at least explain why you think a Lalafell is a better option? I know it's easier to just think I'm a moron, because let's be fucking real here, I am. I mean, look at what I'm doing right now. But yeah, that'll be it, I think. Nothing else to really talk about, it's just a more chill, almost live stream-esque session of this game that I'm playing. Speaking of live streaming, so there was a thought of doing that, but it runs the risk of getting sniped by people who might try to carry you. Now, one of the rules I haven't really said out loud, but if a friend does join any of the things that I'm currently doing, then it would be by pure coincidence and I would accept it. Because I am not queuing with friends, and I'm not in any FC to tell anybody what I'm doing, and I'm also streaming at relatively odd hours compared to where my FC is usually awake, so the chance to be actually running into anybody from the static or any friends I don't know is extremely low. But if it does happen, then one of two things will happen. They will either try really hard to help me, or they will troll the shit out of me and try to get me killed. But in either case, because it was RNG, I will accept it. But if I'm streaming, people are likely to snipe. If I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and stream some World of Darkness or my first clear, people are likely to jump in. However, if I've got lots of deaths in the bank, I may actually start doing live streams of this. Plus, for anybody who may question the legitimacy of this whole thing and how I could just edit out deaths, well, I mean, if the death tutorial popping up during the La Brea fight didn't give you any indication, I mean, I don't know why I would cheat on something like this. It seems really pointless. It's a dumb meme challenge. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I was about to just beeline onto continuing on to 2.5, but I think the Lalafell controversy, we'll call it that. I think the Lalafell controversy is going to put that on hold until we actually get a final result on that. Once we actually get that, then I will progress onwards. And this decision is important because once it is made, it is going to be what I play as for the rest of the game, no matter what. So you should have your say if I should be a Lalafell or if I should be a Rogadin. Again, if you were asking me personally, I prefer Rogadin, but I'll be able to yield to the potato crowd that exists. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble. And I will catch you all on the next video. That cannot be comfortable to go to bed with. Holy.